It was a nice sunny day for a group of Chinese fishermen at the Bohai Sea near the China coast. Like any fishermen, they were hoping to catch some fish during the early morning hours, but what caught their eye that day was something far more interesting. 1,000 thoughts ran through their heads as they believed it could even be a Korean submarine lying there due to some technical issues, or maybe a spy caught red-handed, so they immediately called the Navy to assist. But it was a shocking find when everyone realized that the submarine was of Chinese origin. Lovingly nicknamed Great Wall 61, how did such a strong submarine end up drifting aimlessly? This is the real story behind Submarine No. 361. Design and importance. The popular Chinese Changcheng Ming-class submarine No. 361 was a Type 035 Ming-class submarine, designed to run on diesel and electricity. Along with that, it was also a part of the People's Liberation Army Navy, PLAN, at Lushengkou in the North Sea Fleet in the Liaoning province. Among the naval officers, it was also popularly called the Great Wall No. 61. The machine had an outdated second-generation design, made as a clone of the Soviet Project 633, which is also known as the Romeo-class submarines. The Soviet Project 633 was, in turn, another clone of the advanced Type 21 U-boats, also running on diesel and electricity from the German World War II. The first two submarines from the Type 035 were made in the mid-1970s, but unfortunately could not surpass any American or German technology. The Chinese, however, continued to work upon the same type of submarines in the 1990s. The Submarine No. 361 was developed in 1995, along with three other machines, numbered 359, 360, and 362. The four giants together formed the 12th Submarine Brigade of the North Sea Fleet in the Liaoning province, with 361 being categorized as a Type 035 G-Ming third model. According to a report by CNN, China was supposedly increasing the training and activities of its submarines in the east to act upon its policy of sea denial, countering the U.S. Pacific Fleet. The day of the disaster. No. 361 was deployed as a part of a naval exercise in the Bohai Sea at the east of Beijing and Tianjin. One of things that was amiss that day was a man who was not supposed to be there, a certain senior naval officer by the name of Commodore Cheng Fuming. On the 16th of April 2003, the submarine made its last log, silently going away from the Changcheng Island, back to its base Weihai in the Shandong province. According to an official report by a popular Chinese news agency named Xinhua, the submarine was holding up 70 people as its crew members, which also included 13 trainee cadets from the Chinese Naval Academy. The submarine was supposed to be taking part in some naval exercises occurring in the Yellow Sea of the northeastern China coast, at the east of the inner Changshan Islands. After some further investigations, the news agency reported that all 70 of its crew members had died because the crew was unable to shut down its diesel engine on time, which led to the engine using and finishing all the oxygen available to it on the 16th of April 2003. All this while the submarine was submerged deep inside the sea. Unfortunately, in a sad state of affairs, none of the officials on the surface knew about such a disaster happening. In their knowledge, the broken and destroyed submarine was swimming in the sea for 10 days as it was supposed to be on a silent, no-contact exercise at that moment of time. In what would seem like a much more horrible turn of events is that the official investigation also resulted in finding out that the crew were unconscious and possibly died on their places, even before they knew about the problem, and even before they could act against it. What that means is that the submarine was carrying 70 dead bodies for 10 days without any hope of going out to the surface. On the 25th of April 2003, a group of Chinese fishermen accidentally discovered the submarine as they noticed its periscope appearing up above the layers of the sea. The Navy immediately sent out 2 vessels of its team to investigate this submarine. Earlier, the planned team had thought of it to be a spy submarine from South Korea or Japan, but later they were shocked as they found out that it was one of their own submarines. The team later boarded the submarine on the 26th of April to find no sign of human life and 70 dead bodies lying in front of them. The officials had towed the found submarine immediately and ultimately to the northeast seaport of Dalian in the Liaoning province. Today, even after 20 years of the incident, nobody accurately knows as to how 361 was recovered after its presence was reported. Several reports say that the ship was submerged in the sea, but the reports also state that it was towed back to port, which implies that it had surfaced. But all of this demands the question, what really happened? How could a disaster of this scale even take place? due to such an irregular amount of information present has resulted in the formation of various theories over the decades, one of which says that the submarine was not looking to be on a routine mission as it had the presence of a high-ranking official, Commodore Cheng, and something which added to the theory was that the submarine was only made to carry 57 officials at maximum, but it was unexpectedly carrying 70 people at once. Some people responded to the theory stating that the additional crew was on board for an air system propulsion or an AIP experiment, which would help in providing a greater stealth and endurance to the submarine underwater. Another Type 035G submarine, number 308, helped in testing an AIP drive. Another line of thinking says that the submarine suffered a leakage which made the seawater mix with the acid in the battery, forming deadly chlorine gas which poisoned the whole crew. After all of that, the most accepted theory comes from the Hong Kong media, the Wenwei Po, which states that the crew was suffocated to death by the sub-diesel's engine. According to this theory, a diesel-electric submarine uses an air-breathing diesel engine to charge its battery for underwater usage, but it is used while the submarine is staying on the surface. If it is submerged and avoids being detected, it uses a snorkel to get air which is automatically sealed if the water level is more than required. In case of 361, the high water level made the snorkel close or it had failed to open properly due to a machine error, but its diesel engine did not shut down automatically, which was supposed to shut down. In just around 2 minutes, the engine finished the entire air supply of the submarine, which would have made the crew lose their breath first and later their consciousness. The negative air pressure additionally didn't allow for the hatches to open up. Any of these theories reveals the reality of a massive failure in the crew training department and the mechanical department which sealed the fate of submarine number 361. Aftermath of the disaster. 2 weeks later, a press conference was held on the 8th of May 2003, having the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhang Qiwei as the head of the affairs. According to Zhang's official statement, submarine number 361 was caught by some mechanical problems due to which the 70 people on board had accidentally sacrificed their lives. On the 2nd of May 2003, the chairman of the Central Military Commission, CMC of China, Mr. Jiang Zemin, had sent out a condolence message towards the families of the 70 people who had laid down their lives amidst their duty and additionally blamed mechanical failure for the tragic incident. The vice chairman of CMC, Guo Boxiong, had started an inquiry into the disaster after a month of the incident. The inquiry had resulted in harsh actions being taken against several senior PLA Navy officers, which included the suspension of both the commander and the commissioner of the North Sea Fleet, and additionally 8 officers being demoted or straight away suspended off of their duty, blaming improper command and control by the team. The story of Submarine 361 is horrifying, especially considering just how the crew died and remained there for over a week. If maybe the crew was better experienced, they could have sent a signal calling for help. But even 2 decades down the line, most of the information about this disaster remains locked behind the confidential lines of Chinese authority, and it seems as though what really happened aboard the submarine will remain as murky as the waters it collapsed in. With that, I leave you. If you enjoyed this video, then I hope you'll consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content like this. And, as always, thanks for watching.